Okay. That is a grand finale, baby. That was super hot fire right there. It was full of resolve, full of compassion, and courage, and determination. It was just all the fixings for a grand finale. And of course, this is not the end. The only question is when we actually get a continuation of the grand and main story, besides these anthologies or these parodies and funny gags that we'll get from here to there. You know, when you stay on the course of the Strike Witch series, you kind of want more of it, and also from other places as well, which I'm hoping will happen one day, but probably not. With that being said, this was a very interesting story. It didn't go the way I was hoping for, with the Witch Norway showing up or something. That would have been very intriguing, but I guess hopefully sometime down the line we will get that. I'm hoping for that to happen. And I believe it will someday, hopefully. Because they can't just leave the Witch Noroi thing just dead in the water like that. Like, come on, that is such a good plot. The Noroi are creatures that pretty much take resources. Well, we haven't seen them take resources, but they take people's land, but they also replicate it. They're not just learning battle strategy, but they're also replicating mankind, especially with this neuroid. When he went underground and he saw Wolf in his true form was a copy of some capital where some person had to step down and were about to build the capital for them, but it was never seen to fruition. So for the Norway to copy an entire unfinished capital is freaking insane. They're not just copying or hiding icebergs or copying witches. They're literally replicating mankind to destroy itself. Very interesting. So they're using the technology of mankind in a culture, an agriculture of mankind to destroy mankind. Very, very intriguing. Of course, there was the dome, and there was the refugees of Karsland, them hiding out. They've been there for a while, so God knows how long they have struggled for food, or imagine the mass starvation and sickness that's been happening. It's impressive they did that, but still, it was a struggle to stay in Karsland for that long. I'm pretty sure everyone evacuated there. So there were some stragglers, I bet you. And staying in that kind of environment for a long time can make a person go insane. But they're probably not going to show that side of the war, the strike witches we're talking about. So they're hitting the dome with everything they got. They were able to make some pressure to it. While Mifuji using the resources she has to help out from inside the dome at the same time. Nora were going crazy. Then, of course, Shizuka comes in because she has to save her senpai. And, of course, Shizuka doing all she can. And, of course, how many times Shizuka got strike down? I remember she got struck down in the movie. She got struck down again earlier in the season by her leg, and she got struck down again. This time she was following orders, and Miyafuji was glad that she did, but she turned against her, knowing that Miyafuji would met her in if she didn't do something. But Shizuka would have met her in as well if it wasn't for Miyafuji reawakening her power at the end. Like, that was crazy, man. Like, she got shot big time, man. Like, a chunk of her was gone, man. It was gone. There was no coming back from that. But Miyafuji, it seemed like her power, in a way, was just being stored up. Like, it was like, like something like you have this clog, not even a clog, but something's clogging it, the magical pressure. And she was only able to get some of it out. And it was getting thinner and thinner. Something inside her was causing it to thin, the magic out only bit by bit. She only can use a certain amount, then she has to recharge it again for it to, get in. It's like you have this thing of water and you're trying to get out of here, but it won't go out. So it's just thin right here, it's only getting bit by bit. So until you find a way to unclog it, it'll finally just release, rushes in. That's exactly what happened in this episode, when she wanted to save her best friend, well, her new friend, and it just finally released. As you can see, man, she was just throwing up them shields like it was nobody business. No one can do shields like Miyafuji. No one can do healing like Fuji. She was on a super magical charge right there because that shit was being stored up inside of her for such a long period of time. And because of that, she was finally out. Okay, it was like when in season 2 when she used the sword and we thought it drained all her power. It might have, but it was coming along ever since. But she hadn't been using magic for a while, so her body was being used to being a human. Until the end of the movie, she was able to use her power again for wanting to save someone, but it was being released. But however, the body was still getting used to being a witch again. I'm guessing. This is just my theory. So in season 3, she was not able to use her powers that much because she was only able to use a big chunk of that stuff that released from the very beginning, and then it was banished out. So it was trying to sever through bit by bit the rest of the magic. But now she was finally able to open up that tunnel, and now she can use her power endlessly now, like she has been doing in the past. She's back to the hyper OP, overpowered, talented Miyafuji that she is, which is amazing. And boy, when he went to fight the last stand against Wolf was David Productions. I'd like to thank you for being also the third studio to take care of Strike Witches, you know. It ain't easy taking a studio, you know, taking a show that's been bounced around and for it to still have that good quality of animation, for it to get better and better. But it seems like series like this, you know, series like Strike Witches, Love Live, even Girls and Panzers, as time goes on, it gets better and better. However, Love Live and Girls and Panzers stay within the same studio, where Strike Witches, and I've said it before, but I want to say it again, because you won't believe how sometimes when a show goes to a different studio, it changes. But most of the time it's for the worse. Hamatara, Seven Deadly Sins, Irregular, or High School Magic Girl, or that one show that blonde Madhouse, but it's being animated by someone else now. One Punch Man. It's a lot of anime switched to different studios, and they were never. They went down. It wasn't good at all. It was terrible. But Strike Witches, for some reason, is to be that one show, the miracle that it gets better each season. With its animation, with its CGI. The thing, of all the shows that use CGI, shows like Strike Witches, Love Live, and Girls and Panzers use the CGI the best. That's hilarious in my opinion. It's super hilarious. You know, all the other high action packed, bigger budget studios can barely use CGI right. Well, Ufotable can. Of course, it's Ufotable. They're unlimited budget works. So, for God's sakes. So they finally was able to take back Carlsland. And of course, she was narrating how the narrators still Norway nests at the corners around Carlsland and other places, so their fight will continue. Of course. Question is when will we get a continuation of the main story? And when will it finally wrap up? Let's face it, man, Strike Witch has been going on for years, I believe, like probably over a decade now. I think. I could be wrong. But anyways, I'm looking forward to more Strike Witches. It's a good series, man. Of course, they toned it down because if you and I watched the previous seasons, you know the original fan service was like, and they toned it down. And I guess that was a big loss for us. But I guess that was for the sake. It's not like they censored it; they just didn't do it at all. Which I would rather them not do it at all than just completely censor it. Okay, so I'm okay with that. A little. So anyway, just like that first video, it was an honor to review the series. It was amazing. I can't wait for more. So anyways, if you enjoyed my Strike Witches journey, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. So Madcrownxox, I'm Anime. Signing out.